It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day and day 3 of extreme quarantine gardening makeover at the neighbors. I want to shout out Allison L. and Lane, 2 of my page members. Thank you so much for your support. Love you guys. Stay safe. Also, I want to make a very public apology. I was being an elitist when I came down so hard on this pygmy date palm, and a couple of you have called me out on that. And you're right. I was being way too hard on this plant. It's cute in here. It's healthy. And you know what? Most importantly, some of my most successful installations have been under mature pygmy date palms. So thank you. I get a little carried away sometimes, but you guys are absolutely right. This palm is glorious and gorgeous and perfect and welcome in this garden. Now that I have expressed my heartfelt apologies, let's get back to business. Let's talk about Crassula, Argentia, lemon, and lime. This is one that I haven't used that often. This is kind of like, it's not sunset because it doesn't turn all yellow. It's a variegate with kind of, well, lemon and lime colors. And I've just always thought that Crassula Argentia was more dramatic. So, I've kind of just poo-pooed this one. But I'm loving this because it's, and I did not know this, it stays kind of small.
Little.
All of the Argentia that was in this garden, with the exception of one, I've had to pull out, and I'm going to have to resize because it got very trunky and leggy. But this lemon and lime has stayed very compact, and I'm really, really happy with that plant. Now, in terms of this sticks on fire, I'm kind of torn. So I would like the world, I'd like you guys to vote on this. Whether we keep it or we get rid of it is going to depend on you, because I don't know, here we go. Here it is. If we reset it, there it is. Or don't reset it. That is the question. So if you are interested in voting, I'm going to encourage you to go to my community page. I'm going to create a poll, and you can say yes or no. Yes, reset it, or no, put it somewhere like else. Okay? All right. So I haven't reset anything. All I have done is pull things out, tidy up. Look at all of this rock. I mean, there's so much. It is so awesome. And I almost feel like there's really not a whole lot that I even need to put back, is there? Everything is thriving. Another thing, though, that I discovered was this upper tier here, and this is another example of microclimates at work. This gets more shade than this. So the plants that were in here, with the exception of this euphorbia and, of course, our understated pygmy palm and barrel cactus, everything else was pulling forward and getting kind of etiolated. So I think what I'm going to do up here is more, maybe put something right here where it's, going to offer some bang in that empty spot, but just work with more rock in here and just let this be larger statement plants. And then, kind of like party in the front, business in the back. This will be the party down here. Also, you will notice that, no, it's party in the back, business in, is it? Wait.
Think of a mullet.
Mullet. Yeah. Okay. The mullet is party in the back, business in the front. You know what I mean. Okay. So this Plectranthus, you might note, well, first of all, I took the equivalent of a 15-gallon bucket off of these 2 plants, but it doesn't really look like I did much. And here's the thing. I could have taken more off, knowing that, if this were a traditional maintenance, I might not be back for 6 months to a year, but I don't mind coming back in 3 months and doing another clip and snip on this, because it is so glorious, right? It's in full bloom and it's so pretty. I found a gorgeous Baja Cresta boulder behind the Plectranthus. So that's good. But, you know, maybe when you're out doing your maintenance on your garden, you don't have to necessarily think end game. It's okay to let things look a little bit, you know, full if they are still in their prime, knowing that you can come back at any time, a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, and do additional snipping and clipping if you so desire. So yeah, that's kind of what I discovered about that. Also, you guys will be so proud of me because I found some leaves that had come off of this little sedum and were just on the ground, and I'm going to propagate them. They are so fat and so full that I think they will do very, very well on my propagation table. Remember, tomorrow is Walkabout Wednesday in my garden, and I've got some surprises for you. Some glorious surprises. Meanwhile, I'm going to get back to work here now, resetting some things. Check out this Aloe Glauca hybrid. Oh, Aloe, she's our girl. Oh God, I'm no cheerleader. But look at these. There's so many of them. These came out of here, and they were completely hidden. You couldn't even see these. So I got them all cleaned up and tidy, and I'm gonna put, you know, probably 3 of them back there and maybe work a couple more in some other places. Super happy with this. Also exposed the Echeveria Sahara. Look at the babies that she has once I cut the Plectranthus away and let those breathe. Aren't those so great? So I cleaned up the under leaves that were dead, but I'm not going to cut or reset or pull those out. I'm just going to let those ride. They're spectacular. These are Aloe grenadiensis. A lot of you ask about these in the comments. This is such a fantastic aloe. Very, very tough. This is one that would work really well in some of the hotter places. I don't know how frost, it's not hardy, but I think that it would survive some cold weather. So if you can get your hands on an Aloe grenadiensis, I recommend this one. Okay, I think that's all I have for today. Really, really encouraging you to get out into your gardens today and tear in. Have some faith in yourself. You got this. And I will see you all tomorrow for Walkabout Wednesday. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with day 3 of Extreme Quarantine Garden Makeover at the Neighbors. Peace out.